Let me ask you something. Do you think this video looks good? I think you do, right? This was entirely shot on a phone, as you know, and yes, I'm invisible. And if you're wondering what are some tips that I follow that make my videos look slightly better, I mean, your phone videos need not look like this, they can look like this. So here are some things I picked up over the years. Firstly, darken your background. This greatly helps your tiny smartphone sensor expose better on your face or on your subject's face. I mean, you can get away with having like bright windows on the background, but you can see it immediately reduces the contrast of your image. To combat that, you will need extremely bright lights, which can be expensive. I mean, the light that I'm using is like a $20 super cheap light that I have from 4 years. None of my equipment is like super expensive professional thing, but I think I still make good videos with it. That just goes to show that you don't need pro grade gear as long as you know what you're doing. And here's another tip. To supplement that dark background, you can add some fill lights or some practical lights. Like you can see I have some RGB action going on because I like RGB. That thing is customizable. It has a Wi-Fi controlled app, so it's really good. But some people don't like RGB, and that's fine. You can actually have a daylight balanced light on the background. I think you can agree that some light in the background adds a visual interest to your image than no light. And again, that's the same light that I have from several years lying around. It's broken, like it's super old. It's not some expensive equipment. It's a bi-colored light that can range from 3300 Kelvin all the way to like 6500 Kelvin. So yellowish to white light. And that's a super handy secondary light alongside your main light source because you can do some tricks with it. Like sometimes I keep that light outside my windows to simulate sunlight. I've actually used it in some of my videos in the past week. See if you can spot which one. I know when you're looking at it, it seems like wow, sunlight, but no, it's not sunlight, it's a fake secondary light. Sorry, your life is a lie. If you don't want to keep it outside the window, you can actually supplement it inside. Like if you have some sunlight coming in from the window, you can actually keep that light behind you and have some yellow flare going on your body. You can make it look like the sunlight from the window is falling on your body. They do that in Hollywood all the time. It's to supplement the practical light source to make it look like a natural light falling on you, but it's not. And if you nail the camera angle and the light position properly, you can make it look really good. These are tiny things you may not notice, but they do make a difference. And third is pretty obvious. Get one of these, main key lights. I prefer ring lights because they have a very uniform lighting on your face. Keep them at medium brightness and have it close to your face so that the light is even and soft. And don't keep it directly in front of your face. Try to keep it somewhere on the, an angle like a 45-degree angle to the left or the right so that you have shadows on one area of your face. It looks nice. Here's another tip I learned from Casey Neistat. It's that always use the best camera you have. Now, the best camera can be defined in a couple of different ways. Some people commonly define it as the camera with the best image quality. Some others say that the best camera is the one that you always have with you. I tend to agree on both because your smartphone can be both of those things. You always have your smartphone with you, so that's one of the things, and your smartphone has multiple cameras. So Casey Neistat says use the best camera in the sense with the best image quality. So in your phone, usually it's the rear camera which has the best image quality. And sometimes we have multiple sensors on the back like an ultra wide, a telephoto, etc. Usually the main sensor is better than all of those, so use that for video. But wait a minute, if I'm using the rear camera, I can't really see my face, right? I don't have a viewfinder. How do I know if I'm in frame or if I'm in focus? Well, good question. Damn, you're really smart. Even I struggled with that, so now I use my PC's monitor to view my phone screen. I use a free app called Screen Copy, which can mirror my phone screen using USB, and I can even control the phone screen using my keyboard and mouse, which is really cool. I can, set focus, change exposure, and things like that. There are many ways to view your phone screen without having to look at your phone screen. Or if you are really crafty, I guess you can keep a mirror behind your screen. That's an option too. I know I'm not the smartest guy, but even I figured it out, so you can do it too. But that about does it. These are some small tips and changes I do to make my smartphone videos look really good. I mean, there is a whole aspect of editing as well. I do a lot of things in the editing software to make it look even better. I guess we'll discuss that another time. But these tips I mentioned can be used by anyone regardless of which phone you have. Now, these work really well if you have a phone with a good camera, but if you don't have a phone with a good camera, then you can actually download a separate software called Open Camera. I'm gonna make an update video on that. I've made a super old video, kind of a tutorial on it. You can take a look here if you want. But as I mentioned, mentioned, I will make an update to that soon. It's not suitable for every phone in 2023. It's great for budget phones though, and it's a free app anyways, right? Go take a look. Do all of this and your phone videos will look drastically better. Now, does that mean I will forever use my phone for my YouTube thing? I mean, this is a business now, right? I'm making money from this. So if you're thinking all this is a waste of time, it's not. I'm able to make a living out of this, which is pretty crazy. I started as a hobby and now just using my phone, using everything I told, it's a pretty great thing. And trust me, you don't need millions of views to make decent money. I guess I'll make a separate video on how to monetize small channels. Are you interested in that? Let me know in the comments.